Okay, now we've kind of set up Claude. We've also tried out some prompts. And what we need to really understand when it comes to writing prompts, what should we be thinking about? When writing prompts, one of the things that's worth understanding is that it should actually follow some kind of framework. Here, I've kind of listed out a framework, and you can see that it starts off with setting up a persona. Then it's also stating the objective, providing the context, defining some kind of constraints, defining the output, having some kind of structural placeholders, and then iterating and refining that. Okay, so with the first prompt that we typed in, now this was actually to do with setting the persona. Acting as an investigative researcher, that was the part where it's setting the persona. You're actually telling the AI model that this is what you should be thinking about when you're working with the model. The next step is to actually state the objective. So this could be things like finding 3 examples, converting the 3 examples, or creating a concise bullet point list. So I've provided some examples here where you've got create, draft, analyze, compare, and summarize. In the prompt, we could see that we actually had mentioned 3 examples, or convert them into a highly structured scannable list. The third tip is related to context. This is where we need to actually understand, okay, who is the audience? Who's actually going to be reading this output? What is the intent? What is the actual purpose behind the request? And the industry. How is it supposed to apply? What is the tone and the depth that's required? In the prompt that we used, we had find 3 examples of everyday technologies or objects we completely take for granted today. Tip number 4 is to do with constraints. One of the things that we actually mentioned was we don't want to include things like printing press or the car in the responses. Tip number 5 is actually providing some kind of structure. Here, we're actually saying, okay, well, we want to say the technology, we want to frame that it's going to be to do with the conflict or what is the turning point. And tip number 6 is actually to do with examples. With the AI models, they can actually work much better if you actually provide examples. And this is classed as few-shot prompting. Few-shot prompting says, okay, this is what good looks like. Here, you can see on the screen where we provided technology. And then in the response, we could see the umbrella and 1750s England. And the final tip is actually to do with refinement and iterating. It might not provide the correct response first time round, and then you need to provide other responses where you can improve it. This could be localizing it into a different language. It could be turning it into a different format. Here we've kind of stated that, oh, we want to follow a strict structure. This last one is actually bringing all of these items together into a prompt that can be reused, and this will be in the community workspace. That kind of finishes the kind of 7 tips that really make you think that, okay, well, how can we make the AI model work better? Thank you very much, and we'll get ready for the next lesson.